Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first time viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much. Please like and comment on this video. This is my recap, my review for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 3, Episode 4, Mama Beef. Now, the episode starts off with Ray J, and he's talking with Max because Max has been in the studio. Why? Because he doesn't want to go home. Why? Because he has a wife who decided that she was going to take their son's $27,000 and invest in the business of her own, that she would in turn be able to like triple, quadruple that over time and give it to the son, which sounds great and all good. But the reality of the situation is she still lied to him, took the money that was for their child, and used it for her overall own personal gain. And he's over it. Ray J's just trying to let him know, look, I understand things are the way they are right now, but don't go and do the typical thing of start going and running in the clubs and getting yourself in trouble just because things at home are messed up. And of course, Ray J still hasn't gotten married to Princess Love yet, so this could be a determining factor of, yeah, maybe a prenup or just a reevaluation of this whole marriage thing is in order. Now, we're at Lyrica, and she's singing. Of course, she actually sounds good. She's actually one of the people on Love and Hip Hop who can sing, and her mom can as well, and her mom actually gives her great advice. Her mom's like, look, you're performing. People don't want to hear how the record sounds. They can go on their phone, on the computer, and do that. You need to give a little bit more ump. So if you're like, you need to be like, you know. So there's that. But the main issue that they want to tackle is Pam. Pam is A1's mom, and Lyrica G, who is Lyrica Garrett, that's Lyrica's mom, she is not a fan of Pam because Pam has overstayed her welcome. Along with that, Pam is just different from her. Pam rolls different, Pam thinks different, and she doesn't like her. So we're gonna get past that, go to Masika. Masika is hanging out with her longtime friend Jason Lee and Nia. I'm not sure why. Nia, I'm like, dang, where's your storyline this season? Are you not going to be on next season? Because right now, I'm not seeing the point of you being here aside from being the supportive friend. You can be the supportive friend on here just without the title. And of course, Masika's talking about how she's going to have a talk with Fetty Wap because right now, they ran into the issue of initially, things looked like they were going to be somewhat on the up and up, potentially, but then he goes and puts the paternity in question. She decides, you know, I will go and do a paternity test. He says, no, we're not going to do that. Then he goes and flips it and says, yeah, I do want a paternity test. That's one the lawyer is requesting, and she just has this look of, are you kidding me? Because you pretend like you were excited, you were good, you have other kids already. Of course, Fetty Wap's upset because he feels like he's being trapped. He has multiple kids already. He already knows what it is. He wasn't wearing protection with her when he was having sex, so I don't know what he would expect. Anyway, we get, from that, we go to Scat Beezy. Scat Beezy, this is where he's officially introduced. You know Scat Beezy. Well, actually, I don't think he likes that name. So, Safaree. That's what we're going to call him from now on. That's what he likes. He doesn't like Scat Beezy. He doesn't like the other names that we had for him. He just wants to be known as Safaree. He's, of course, he's Jamaican, but he mainly lived in Brooklyn. Now he's moving from Brooklyn out to LA to pursue his music career, even though I'm thinking, you're in New York. That's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, market for music in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So like, what's really going on? But of course, a nice pace of change is good because Nicki, he talks about how, of course, he was in a relationship with Nicki Minaj and how he was the supportive boyfriend in the background, and then things fell apart. They became very public the last 2 years of really their breakup, and social media sided with Nicki, and he just wanted to get paid for his work. And she's like, oh, how that's not fair. And here's my thing. I think that it's absolutely fair for him to go and get paid because his name is on things. It's just that a check was never directly cut to him. I'm sure in her mind she was thinking, you were compensated because you got all these other stuff. Kind of like how record labels do, where they'll go and use your money to pay for other stuff and give it to you and say, here you go. You may not get this solid check, but here's these cars, here's a house, here's this, here's that. Anyway, he wants to move on from it. He's doing a radio show interview, and they're just focusing on his relationship with Nicki Minaj. And his goal is to be a rapper. His goal is to be like a reggae dance hall rapper. Which, that's actually that's why he went to LA. That's what makes sense, because actually Rihanna, when she first came out, she was working with producers out of LA because they really focus on that more dance type of music in general, especially with dance hall and reggae. So it makes a lot of sense that Safaree's out there. But he definitely has to do a lot to stop being known as Nicki Minaj's ex, because that's what most people know him by. And it's not for good reason. It's definitely not for good reasons, even though no one says that he's a bad guy. We get past that. We're back to Masika, and she finally met up with Fetty Wap, and he apologizes. He says, you know what? It's not that I don't want to claim the baby. I do realize, you know, I know the baby's mine. That's not the issue. I just got scared. It was just probably like, Lord, another one who is a blessing, but I wasn't expecting this, even though I was having unprotected sex with this woman, but we're going to get past that. So again, he apologizes. She says how it was messed up, how he handled it. He owns up to it. So we're going to move on from there. She's going to have the baby pretty soon. Brandy is in the strip club because Max B decided he was going to go to the strip club with his boys. This exact thing Ray J told them not to do. And if Ray J, of all people, is telling you not to do something, you definitely should listen. Lord, he goes to the strip club. Brandy comes through because it was put on Instagram, so she is like, wait a minute now, I apologize, I'm sorry. I understand that you will have done this for me anyway. I made the wrong decision by not coming to you. I understand that, but you're not home and our son is asking for you, and every time the doorbell rings, our son's asking, where are you? Where's daddy? Is that daddy? And I have to be like, oh no, it's not daddy. Or I have to pretend like, oh, it may be, just because. Look, my viewpoint with all of this is, Brandy, you are dead wrong. So you have to own up to that, accept it, and deal with the consequences regarding that. The other side of me is like, Maxwell, you should be at least taking your butt home to see your child and then bouncing right back out. Because there is no reason. I'm sure he like FaceTimes and other stuff. But this could have been just like maybe 2 or 3 days. I mean, what's the difference between him not coming home because of what the mom did versus him having to be in the studio a couple of nights late? I mean, if we're being honest, who knows what their real recording schedule is? So I'm not going to go and take that into too much consideration. She's not going to go and do some reverse psychology mess. No. Forget everything I said past that. Brandy, stop it. We're going to keep going. Now, we're, well, with Safaree and Nicki. See how Safaree loves girls named Nicki? Girls very curvy. I'm not mad at either. I am not mad at either. So Safaree is with Nicki Baby. We already knew this, but I appreciate the fact that we get to see this. I'm like, now this is actually a good-looking couple. Like, normally it doesn't matter because usually the woman is like, ah, and then the guy's just like, it doesn't really matter because I'm a guy. Why do I really care about how the other guy looks? But this is a good-looking couple, and they're kissing up on each other. I'm like, oh, they don't even need to talk. I'm just entertained. Keep going. Keep doing what you do. Oh, I didn't know it was this type of show. Oh, okay. Let me get some popcorn. Anyway, so Safaree, he's a relationship type of person, and he potentially wants to pursue a relationship with Nicki Baby. Nicki Baby's just like, yeah, Nicki Baby's being like the typical, is almost kind of being what stereotypically the guy would be in the relationship. It's like, yeah, let's hold off on that. I'm just feeling you out. I'm just feeling the vibe. You know, whatever works. Whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't, doesn't. Let's just enjoy the moment. And so it's like, no, I'm not. And he was like, are you seeing anyone? You seeing? And the guy's just like, no, not seeing any other guys. She's right about that. She's not seeing any other guys, all right. Now, we get past that. Oh yeah, and Nikki Baby was just like, you see, he has good taste, you know, and especially with women named Nikki. I didn't even catch it originally. I was like, Nicki Minaj. So sometimes. Now, we get to the moms of the show, Pam and Lyrica G. They go and have a sit down, and Lyrica G and Pam both agree that, you know, they're supposed to be the adults, but they're not really acting like adults, and it's messing with their kids' relationship. Then it switches from that to Lyrica G going and asking Pam, yeah, so don't you see how living with our kids is affecting their relationship and how you being there is having a negative impact on them? And I'm thinking, who are you talking to? This is another grown adult, regardless if you feel like she is or not. And Pam was like, I don't need the help, this background singer to go and try to come after me when she's trying to live out her dreams through her daughter. It was just like, she thinks that she's better than everyone. And I don't think that I don't think Lyrica G thinks that she's better. I just feel like she definitely sees herself as, like, classy, or Pam is not my type of person. That's the type of vibe that I get from Lyrica G with regards to Pam. And, of course, Pam was like, because Lyrica's just like, I know you're very smart. Again, all of it, you know, that usual educated, condescending type of tone and way of speaking to someone so that you can acknowledge their positives and kind of slap them with the negatives, but they accept it anyway because you just complimented them. Yeah, that's what Lyrica G was doing throughout that whole conversation. And Pam was just like, you're not about to play me. I'm not even living with them anymore. So why is she... See, that's the real issue. I'm not living with them anymore, but no one wants to talk to her, so she doesn't even know that. So they agreed to disagree as of now because they're not going to get along. They are not going to get along right now. A1, he's in the studio with Safaree. The song sounds cool enough. And they were just giving him his props, like, dude, we didn't actually know you had real credits. You worked on like every song that Chris Brown put out in the past 2 years. I was just like, dude, I know, I've been knowing this guy for a moment, and clearly humble brags because I didn't even know he was actually producing. I'm like, shout out to you guys for trying to big up your guy, but the way how you were doing it was borderline slap in the face. We're gonna go on, and the thing with all of this is, you know, he's talking about both of his moms. His birth mom, Pam, and his soon-to-be mother-in-law, Lyrica G. Ray J knows a thing or two about issues with the parents and just how things change. Of course, when you get married, the priority does become your wife and kids and so on and so forth. Everything else becomes almost secondary. So because of that, it's just like how you have to balance the two, and when the moms don't get along, how is it that you're supposed to become this huge blended family? A1 did get a bigger ring. He's just like, you know, the royalty checks came in. The royalty, you know, Chris Brown's last. Anyway, the royalty checks came in, so I'm upgrading the ring, and hopefully this will make her happy, make the mom show that I am serious, that this isn't just a, okay, I'm going to marry your daughter in a few years' time, we're going to be divorced. No. Masika, it's time for her to give birth. Fetty Wap, of course, is still here in Jersey at the time, so he has to go rush on the plane, and she was early too, so thankfully he wasn't touring or anything, because you know, around that time, he was still really popping out here in these streets. Now, Masika, you know, her whole family's there to love and support her while she's going through this labor. And then Fetty Wap comes through just in the nick of time. Masika's parents looked like they wanted to knock Willie, that's Fetty Wap out. And who, oh yeah, by the way, the person that was helping get Masika together so that she could go to the hospital, was that one of Mona's people, or was that one of Masika's people who actually didn't want to be on TV? Let me know, because she was wearing the hoodie, she was avoiding the camera angles and all. I'm like, what is going on here? Who is that? But anyway, Masika gives birth to a healthy, beautiful girl, baby girl. Fetty Wap's there. It's all a good time, except for, like I said, the family looked like they wanted to knock him out. Now, and right now they're on good terms. In real life, they're actually still on good terms. So, shout out to the both of them. Shout out to the both of them. Why is it Nikki Baby has this lingerie line, and of course she has Rosa Acosta there. The name should sound familiar because, yes, that is the other person that Nikki Baby was dating at the time. Was being the operative word, because clearly Rosa still wants to be on this show called Love and Hip Hop, because now she's dating Joe Budden, or was. Anyway, I was looking at Rosa, I was looking at Nikki, you know, they're all kissy, touchy-feely. I'm looking at it right now. What were they talking about? Yeah, so Rosa basically wants to know, is this official? Are we exclusive? Nikki again kind of gives Rosa the runaround. Originally, Nikki messes up. It's just like, oh, wait, what are you talking about? Exclusive? What do you mean exclusive? What does that even mean? I was like, oh, no, I'm not dating. It was like with the guy. It was like, oh, no. Wait, but you wouldn't even care if I'm dating the guy. And Rosa was like, yes, I would. I was like, oh, Lord. Crazy lesbian. Here we go. Here we go. Crazy fake lesbian or temporary lesbian. You know, they like women one day, they bad to men the next day. I almost want to say choose, but I know it's disrespectful, but it's just like, stop playing these games, because if a man did that mess, women would be like, what the f... Anyway, we're at this really awkward dinner table meeting, and it's with A1, Pam, Lyrica G, and Lyrica. Now, basically A1 and Lyrica are trying to make a plea to their parents that we just need you two to get along. You know, you guys are going to be family. Pam's like, family? You guys aren't even married yet, so we're not family. How can we be blending anything if we're not family? Pam's just like, okay, background, stop it, stop it. A1's like, you need to chill out, because I am doing right by your daughter. This isn't some, we're just going to get married tomorrow and that's it, and then we're going to be divorced the next day. Why are you making things so difficult for us? Like, what's your problem? What's your issue? And then it gets crazy because Lyrica, she goes and she flips the food. It hits Pam. Pam gets up. Pam's ready to go. And Pam was just like, Pam was ready. Lyrica G left. And so A1 had to calm down his mom, and he was just like, whoa. I was like, who are you talking to like that? Like, I don't care if you're acting a fool, but I'm like, what type of communication skills do you guys have? I know that would not I don't know who in what world you could talk, even if she's acting a fool, you could talk to, like, that just threw me off. Then that still threw me off. And I felt bad for, because I'm thinking, if Scrappy did that to Mama D, if Jim Jones did that to his mom, if all these other, if Ray J did that, you know Mama Sona will have popped Ray J. Will have popped him. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Shout out to Safaree and him being proud of his heritage.